Coming back with part two. So I had to try to change some lighting around just to try to get it a bit brighter because I felt it was just way too dark. So this was a little bit better. But I wanted to show you guys because I'm going to start dismantling everything. But I wanted to kind of go over stuff. So I had left off over here and I was telling you guys about this little guy and the vintage and antique dolls and the blanket over here. So and then I was talking about this was it was just a couple of dollars for the tree. This was at a different thrift store. The whole bag of these items was $1. Couldn't believe it. And that it fit this tree like it was made for it because this is a small tree. So I was like, oh, it's going to be hard to find anything to put on it. And it was just meant to be. And each one is different and detailed. You can see there's the Grim Reaper. There's a little pumpkin head. Oops, I pulled them off, but you can kind of get an idea of how cute they are. So I hung those on the tree, and there were still extras. There were so many in the bag. And so I had let my little one do that. Okay, so this is from, is it Walgreens? Walgreens does themes, I noticed, like every year. This was probably from a couple of years ago. Again, I waited till the sale. And it is a globe. Snoopy, who I love. I mean, 1 second. I'm going to try to see if I can get it to play a little bit. I didn't wind it up hard because I'm doing it one-handed. But you get the idea that it plays the theme song music. So waited again until after the sale and got him. And I think he may have been maybe $3 or something. Heavy made, everything. And there was another one that I had, but it broke and I was so upset. I packed it up in a box and it broke. Didn't even get it out its first season. All right, so here's Boo, and Boo is from, and I hope I'm saying it right, Grandin, and they are, they can be a little pricey. So, I went after the sales. When I got this was probably well beyond Christmas and after New Year's, and they still had a ton of Halloween items severely discounted, I think 90% off. So I may have paid for this marquee sign that really lights up. It takes batteries. I just am not a battery person. And I hate it because a lot of times I'll buy stuff and it needs batteries and I'll just never turn it on. But yeah, it does light up and stuff like that. So that's in, and I probably paid, like I said, $3 for it. And I think the original cost was, oh my God, it may have been $100 and something. And it's made very well. And it has the Boo on it. Okay, another thrift store haul. I kept the tag on so I could show you guys $1.50. Now, this looks like a regular ceramic piece or something, right? Not so. It's a candle. Can you see the little wick on the pumpkin head? It's a candle, and it's so heavy, and it's so well made and so detailed. I mean, look at the little keep out sign, and oh my goodness. And it's little friendly ghosts, as I call them, because they're all smiling, right? And the pumpkin's even smiling. But it was $1.50. Couldn't beat it with a stick. This is from a thrift store find, and I think he was, oh dang it, I didn't keep the price on him, but I think he was like 25 cents. He has a bulb that goes in and he does light up. And my little one knocked the bulb down on the floor. Okay, I'm gonna pin on my knees here. All right, can I get back up is the question. So here we have these two. Now these two are thrift store finds, and these are actually these two are thrift store finds from a couple of years ago. They are Madame Alexander dolls. So for those of you who understand dolls and collect, look at them. Aren't they amazing? And they're just so cute. Believe it or not, I paid $1 each for these Madame Alexander dolls. She's dressed as Little Red Riding Hood. He's dressed as a little scarecrow. This guy is from Rite Aid. Rite Aid did come out. Oh, God, poor guy. Like, no. Rite Aid did come out with a cute line of bobbleheads. And I'll show you my other collection of bobbleheads, hopefully, before I put them all away. And I fell in love with him. He was from Home, Rite Aid Home. See, I kept the tags, $3.99. And the reason he still has his tags, even though he was 2 years ago, is this is his first season even being out. So he was originally $3.99, and I may have paid $1 for him, if that, because again, I waited till after the sale. So Rite Aid, and I think I may have did a haul at Rite Aid before. Don't sleep on them. They occasionally have some really cute items that are very inexpensive. And you know, that's who I am. Very inexpensive. I don't want to spend an arm and a leg. All right, so this white, delicious looking church cathedral. Just want to kind of turn it around. It has 2 candle holders here. It's a little bit of rust there, but other than that, it was in great condition. It was from a thrift store. Thrift store find, and I just got it. I got it a few weeks ago and was going to put it up for Christmas when I said, wait a second, I can have it out for Halloween and just use it as a house, you know, as a structure that these little kids happen to be, you know, at church or whatever, trick-or-treating for an event there or whatever. And it's just adorable. This I paid $1 for it. As you can see, it's got height and everything to it. So not a bad find at all. So that's where those are. All right, so stand up. Okay, my aching joints. So excuse me because I look absolutely horrendous. But I wanted to also show you this mirror here that was a find years ago. And I think I may have paid $5. And when I say this is a huge mirror, it is huge. But it is the backdrop here and then the sofa table, you know, there with them on it, which he's there. And then here, okay, so let's get to the good stuff. This guy is from Walmart last year, Mr. Yoda carrying a pumpkin. This guy is from last year and he actually lights up into multicolors. And he was from a grocery store, I want to say Kroger. So I would say don't sleep on Kroger's or crazy places like that. You would not believe they have stuff. But I love the kitty. I love the fact he had this pumpkin and in a ghost costume. And he does light up into different colors. And I think he was only $3. Again, I waited till after the sale. He was probably only $5 at Walmart. Again, I waited till after the sale. And I noticed this year I did not see any more Yodas. But Walmart had last year, they had him with a pumpkin. I believe it was last year. And then they had him with, for Christmas, they came out with another one. And I realized, why buy the Christmas one? They're the same thing. It's just one is holding a pumpkin and one's holding something else. So I just didn't buy the Christmas one. These are called Giggle Buddies. I love them because they have a very vintage look. And maybe they are vintage. I bought them years ago from a Craigslist listing. A lady had the Giggle Buddies. And she had these 2. And I've bought some other stuff from her as well. But I'll show you the other 2 Giggle Buddies. And they giggle. I took the batteries out because it was creeping some people out. They would come and they just giggle and they shake. And it's a cute giggle, but people were weirded out. So I took them out. And they really activate. They really move a lot when people walk by. So I think people didn't really like it. Oh, this lamp is another find. It was $3. From a hotel. Can you see that it has connections for your phone and electric connections, so you can charge your computer. You can charge anything on this lamp. And I want to say it was from the a Hilton hotel that closed down. There's a place that has like a bunch of, and I used to work in the hotel industry, and I know we change our stuff out all the time. Matter of fact, the big plant you see back here is from a hotel. When we changed and renovated a hotel I was working in, I was given that as a gift. But yeah, they changed decor. So if you can find any of these places that sell old hotel items, that's always a good place to find unique stuff. And again, where can you find a lamp that has electrical outlets in it? Ignore this. This is my antique phones that I'm sorting through. Again, this place is a work in progress. All right, so this is what I did with the mantle. And here's the spotlight, guys. So sorry about that. But I just wanted to give you an idea of, I kind of found this wreath. This guy, one second, I'm just going to turn the spotlight a different way. This guy, the wreath here, I may have gotten him at a thrift store for a couple of bucks years ago. And nobody knew what to do with this guy. He was tossed from room to room. And finally I said, oh, wait, let me just try this. And I hung him up, and he's not even like stapled into that or anything. He's literally clutching on and hanging on. Because he said, I finally found a place I belong, and I'm not letting it go. But rustic look, I combine glitz and glam with rustic a lot of times. So that's what happens there. All right, so up here, this mantle was loaded with items. And my little one's father was like really giving me a hard time about it. So it is cleared down considerably. But I've got the sterling silver there. He's due for a polish. But a lot of these things are vintage or antique. That's vintage. He started to fall apart over the years. They're so old. Peacocks, which is, of course, one of the things in the Victorian era they decorated a lot with, were the peacocks. And I love anything vintage, Victorian, antique. So this little guy I got a couple years ago, thrift store find. I got him and his brother for $1. And then he broke. I think my little one broke him. But I haven't found anything that I liked more than these little cute smiling pumpkin glass candle holders. So I keep them. This was from got this new, it's a clock, believe it or not. And it is from, goodness, this lady owned this place. I gotta dust it off. But she owns this place, and it was called Lady Scarlet. And she reminded me of Scarlett O'Hara. Crazy enough, she had the dark hair and the very very fine features and everything. She just looked like Lady Scarlet from Gone with the Wind. And that was the name of her place. And she shut it down, and I hate that she had to close it. But I did get it from there, and we bargained on this thing. And it was one of the few things that I just went for it, and it didn't matter if it was, to me, expensive, and I got it. This guy was a gift. I have several of these guys, and this lady was elderly, and so she gave them to me, and a bunch of other similar type things. And I was like, okay, I don't know what to do with this. I felt sorry for the little guy, so I have them. So this is, and I don't know what happened to this ball. And these are so hard to dust off. But they are animatrons. I call automata. There we go. I'll just show you. I found them in 2 different places, and I got them for extremely little bit of nothing. But they move, they wind up. It's a big case here, and they wind up and they move their arms. Very, very vintage. Normally cost an arm and a leg. And of course, you know me, I got them for still of a deal. They're 2 different places, and I couldn't believe I saw both of them. This was a thrift store find. The gentleman said, oh, he's falling apart. You see where I put the piece of tape there? I gotta figure out a better way to hold him. I think I may have paid $3 for this big clock. And it is so Victorian-ish and vintage-ish. And it has the angels, and I'm big into angels on it. Okay, this clock has a chip in the back, and the guy almost didn't want to sell it. Plus, he said you'd have to rewire it to work. And I said, no, my grandmother, I remember being a little girl, and there was one on her mantle. And it reminded me of my grandmother, who has passed. And so I had to have this clock. And so she sits here. She doesn't work. She's extremely, extremely heavy. You can see how she's made. Very vintage. And everything. This is from a dear friend of mine. She loves to decorate, and the elephant with the tusk. The elephant with the trunk upwards, as you know, is a symbol of good luck. And she gave it to me at our job, and it was a symbol of good luck. She was a sweetheart. That's the other peacock. He has given up life. I mean, he's not even standing anymore like the other one here. But I will not let him go. And so this is another sterling silver. Needs to be polished. I have a lot of silver pieces, guys, that need to be polished, and I'm pulling them out and trying to polish. I've even thought about having like a polishing party and have like tea and wine and refreshments and invite people over friends over and we just work on polishing and talk. They can even bring their own things to polish and we'll polish them all together as a group. So I'm toying with that idea because I need motivation to get in there and polish the silver. And then here from my dog grooming and boarding shop, Love Your Pets. This was actually what was featured in the shop. I had Victorian antique decor in the shop. So your dogs were coming into a home environment that looked like, the front of my shop was very